So the second most important thing, so this is a relatively new part of paid search. So as I said, traditionally, I feel like I say traditionally a lot, only like 5 years ago. We had no idea about about audiences that came that clicked on our ads. That was what display did. They worried about remarketing, they worried about demographics, ages, income levels and stuff like that. We had no visibility on that in paid search. We had keywords, ads, ad extensions, and we used to have to say things like, okay, this keyword's, this is a really long keyword, this person's probably quite low down the funnel, we should do something with that. Our brand is quite skewed towards women, so we'll write our ads like this. Our ads, we sort of appeal to older people, so we'll write our ads like this. We had no idea what was looking at our ads until a couple of years ago when AdWords released, allowed us to start bidding based on audiences. So for me, this is sort of this is the second most important thing in AdWords at the minute, and this is only going to get more and more important. So remarketing lists for search, these allow us to target users based on if they visited our site before or not. So these users tend to convert a lot better, so we can be more aggressive for them. Customer match. So this is a bit of a bit of a copycat of Facebook. So Facebook launched lookalike audience. That's not lookalike audience. Sorry. Facebook allows you to put customer data in the form of email addresses into Facebook and target those users differently in Facebook. This is AdWords version of that. So we can take, if you signed up for the Launch 22 email, we can put your email address into AdWords and target you differently based on if you've given them your email or not. Because again, you're showing an intent that you've known the brand, and we can be a little bit cleverer about how we target you.
That's why, even more so now, it's the email addresses that are gold.
Yeah, I think I've not had a huge amount of luck with customer match. The problem with customer match is it needs to be a Google account, so immediately, let's say 50% of people are immediately discounted. And they also need to be signed into Gmail or signed into Google at the time, so you end up with a really, quite a small pool of people. Remarketing list is like the daddy of audiences for paid search. Facebook's slightly different though, because a lot of people, you've got to be logged into Facebook anyway, and a lot of people have one personal email which they use for everything. So the hit rate on Facebook is a lot higher, whereas with AdWords it's a little bit lower. But yeah, it is like getting people's email addresses now. It's sort of come full circle. It was like email marketing dropped off a little bit, so it was like wasn't as important. But now it's like you can target people in so many different ways with email addresses. That sort of seems like everyone wants everyone's email address again. And then finally we've got similar to audiences. Again, a bit of a copycat of Facebook. Facebook launched lookalike audiences. So if I build a list of everyone that's visited my site in the last 30 days, and I want to target people who are similar to those people based on the data that Facebook or Google collects about them, I build a similar to list, and it will be, you've got 1,000 people in there, and this similar to list will have 90,000 people on, which according to Google, you are similar to the people that are on your list, and you can target them differently. So there are sort of our three main audiences.
But
This might
use your email for all three then?
No, so this is just based on a cookie. So this is just you visited the site. This is email based, and then this one just uses those two to create a list, again based on cookies, that look like those, whether that be ages, demographics, locations, that sort of stuff.
Are these based on Google Analytics?
You can build remarketing lists in AdWords, but then you can also build them in GA, and you get the UX metrics from GA as well. So AdWords is really quite basic really. It has this person visited the site in X amount of days. If you build them in GA, you can lay on top of that time on site, pages visited, what channel they came through, basically all the UX metrics in GA, you can add them so you get an extra level of complexity on them. So if you've got GA set up, I'd always recommend doing them through GA. If not, just AdWords is fine. I'll get you sort of the bulk of the benefit. So these people that have interacted with your brand, or in theory, people that are similar to those people, should convert better because they're sort of already aware of your brand, and you can be more aggressive when you're bidding for them. Good. So we can bid completely differently for them. So we could you set a bid modifier for lists actually. So if you build a list for people who visited in the last 30 days, you set a bid modifier which you'd say, if this person has visited within 30 days, I want to bid 50% higher than my max CPC. So this is where it's sort of come in before. You can pay higher than your max CPC, but only if you start modifying your bid, which we'll go into like all the different modifiers in a bit. But you could also completely exclude people, or you could appear completely differently for different people. So probably the best example would be if I'm a holiday company and I'm selling Ibiza holidays, and I know that the person looking is 18 to 24, I can show them an 18 to 30s ad. Whereas if I know they're 55 and older, I can show them luxury hotels in Ibiza. So we can now tell, or we can have a good, close enough guess to being spot on, that these people are in a certain demographic, and we can bid differently for them depending on what we're selling, and rather than guessing, you know, we appeal to this certain demographic, so our ad should be like this. We can now have 5 or 6 different demographics in our campaigns, where we show them a different ad, or we bid differently for them, or we may just completely exclude them altogether. So if you're a women's wear brand, you may have never bid on jeans because everyone can buy jeans. Whereas now you can bid on jeans, you can exclude men, and you can exclude women who are younger or older than your demographic. So you can zero right in on them and get, show them the perfect ad. One more. And as I said, they optimise using bid modifiers. So that bid modifiers is something that will pop up quite a lot, but it's just a way that we can say, if this person is X, Y, or Z, increase our bid or decrease our bid. And then, so that's what the bid modifiers are. They sit in a couple of different places, and they just modify the bid based on if someone has visited the site or time of day or location or something like that. Good. Then we've got demographics, so age, gender. This was going to be a lot smoother when it was just me. And then one more, sorry.
I'm under pressure, yeah.
No, I'm sorry. And then,
Just pull it all up.
one more, I think. Yeah. So demographics and AdWords work the same as remarketing. It's based on sort of data that Google collects. We have age, we have gender for every country in the world, or most of them. Sometimes they don't release certain features, but as far as I know, we can do that for any country in the world. If you're targeting the US, you can also bid on demographics. So you can bid on income levels. So there's 6 targets, I believe. Top 10%, 11 to 20, 20 to 30, and it goes down all the way to bottom 50. So we can bid on a location. So if someone lives in a location which is in the top 10% average earners in the US, we can target them differently than if they are in the bottom 50%. So again, advertisers will have different demographics, socio-economic groups that they sort of appeal to, and then we can account for that in our AdWords activity. Most people have got good structures. Most people are writing good ads. Most people are using all the technology that's available to them. In my opinion, audience targeting is the last or the current way that people in paid search can achieve better results than their competitors, because not everyone's doing this well. A lot of people aren't even doing it, a lot of really good people aren't even doing it. So for me, this is where the gains are being made at the moment. If you're doing this well, that's where you're seeing the result.